Well, it's almost afternoon, lunchtime, so I'm going to say good afternoon, everyone. Time for the Tropical News Update with J7409. The name you know, the news you can use on the 5th day of July, 2018. Wishing and hoping everyone had a wonderful 4th of July. Okay, well, we have a tropical depression now down around off the coast of Africa, headed toward the Antillean Virgin Islands and all of that stuff. We're going to get to it in a moment. But first, we got to check out this little fella. He's yellow right now. We'll click over to the 5 days, and he does jump up maybe to orange. I don't know. I'm looking at this for the first time with you guys because I made a video and I had all the bells and whistles in it, and by the time it was uploading, this came up with a new update from the National Hurricane Center. So, here we go. Showers and thunderstorms associated with a weak trough of low pressure, located a few hundred miles southwest of Bermuda, remains disorganized. It's a mess, folks. It's very disorganized right now. Environmental conditions are still conducive, though, for some development before the end of the week while the system moves west northwestward and then northward between Bermuda and the east coast of the United States. The disturbance is then forecast to interact with a frontal system around Sunday, which would limit any additional development. 2 days, 30%, 5 days, 40%. And trust me on this, people, we do have this system that's going to move off the coast, and it's going to move it on up and out. Now, what everybody really wants to know about, and for all of my island friends and around Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, all the islands here and parts of Cuba, what's happening? Well, as of 11 a.m., okay, that's when this thing changed on me. The winds are 30 knots. They've been that way for a while, which is around 35 miles per hour. And the minimum central pressure has not changed at all. It's still at 1009 millibars. If you're tracking this, it's 10.2 north, 41.4 west, and it's a fast mover, and that's a good sign that it's not going to develop a whole lot. We'll have to wait and see. We'll get to that. It's moving west right now at 14 knots, around 16 miles per hour. Okay, if you guys listen to me and follow me, remember I told you it may become a tropical storm. It may not. Yesterday it was kind of hard to tell. It would be a tropical depression and a big rainmaker. We knew for sure. Would it become a hurricane? I said no, I do not think so. And let's see what these guys at the National Hurricane Center are saying now. This is a bulletin, okay? Now, the tropical depression forms over the central tropical Atlantic, expected to dissipate east of the Lesser Antilles over the weekend. But what is it going to do in the meantime? Well, as of right now, there are no coastal watches or warnings in effect. And as of 11 a.m., the center of the tropical depression 2 was near latitude 10.2 north, longitude 41.4 west. The depression, as I've just told you, is moving toward the west near 16 miles per hour. It's moving fast. A fast westward to west-northwestward motion is expected through this entire weekend. Now, maximum sustained winds are around 35 miles per hour with a few higher gusts. Now, here's the clincher, people, we have to look for, okay? We got to check this out. Now, some strengthening is possible. Possible, the word possible. And the depression could become a tropical storm later today or tomorrow. Well, I've said all along, it might. It was hard to tell yesterday. I gave it a 50-50 chance. So it still might turn into a tropical storm. Now, the system is forecast to degenerate, though, into an open trough east of the Lesser Antilles over the weekend, okay? So, we're going to play it by ear. Some may feel a little tropical storm breezes blowing around, but it's not going to be anything like a hurricane. And then again, it might not even reach that tropical storm category. We're going to have to wait and see. But as of right now, the winds are 35 miles per hour. So it's only got like 4 more miles per hour, and it probably will be a tropical storm. I think this thing will kind of get to that, maybe. It maybe probably will get to a tropical storm, and then I think it's just going to start to tear apart, move away. And for all of my friends on the islands of the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, even parts of Jamaica and Cuba, you're going to get rain. You may feel a breeze once in a while, something of that effect. There are no hazards at this time to land, and the next advisory is at 5. So I will be sure and get the information out to you. Now, on the map from the National Hurricane Center right now, tracking through for the next few days, you can see this is when it was nothing right here. As of 11 a.m., boom, turned into a depression, and by tomorrow morning, they've got it up to tropical storm, and they have it lingering all the way, containing its strength of tropical storm status through 8 a.m. Sunday. Still hasn't reached any of my island friends, anybody, anywhere. This is what it's looking like now, and this is from the National Hurricane Center. I'm sure if this holds true and it stays this way, by Sunday, you guys should be getting some kind of warnings up here and watches all along in this area. We'll have to wait and see what happens. A little too early. It's still got some winds to go through. We're going to check that out right now. Now, this is something everybody needs to pay attention to, okay? For the past day or so, everybody in the National Hurricane Center have been monitoring this area of low pressure. It's associated with a tropical wave over the tropical Atlantic Ocean. Now, despite a noticeable mid-level rotation in the convection clouds, it had not been conclusive yet whether or not the system had closed circulation at the surface with a well-defined center. However, the system appears now more distinct, and we're going to get a close-up picture of it in a moment, and independent from the intertropical convergence zone as compared to yesterday. See how things change, people? It only takes a few hours. I can put a video out, and as soon as it's up, boom, it might have already changed. Okay, also the scatter meter data appears conclusive enough to support a closed yet tiny circulation. We are now confident enough that the system meets the criteria of a tropical cyclone and have initiated advisories on Tropical Depression 2 with maximum winds of 30 knots, which is supported by the Dorvik classifications from the TAFB and SAB. Now, the depression will be located in a relatively low shear environment for the next 3 days or so. This is really important because this is what's going to give this storm a chance to grow into a tropical storm. However, here's the bright side. The small cyclone is surrounded by abundant dry air now. The dry air has come down where yesterday it was not showing it was coming down that much. And the system will be moving over marginally warm waters during the next few days also, which could both limit intensification. Now, the National Hurricane Center official forecast allows for some slight strengthening and most closely follows the HFIP corrected consensus model guidance, okay? Showing the depression becoming a tropical storm within the next 24 hours. Okay? Now, between 72 and 96 hours, the system is expected to begin encountering strong westerly shear and also acceleration, both of which should cause it to degenerate. That's a good thing. Into an open wave east of the Lesser Antilles. So by the time it gets over to the islands, hopefully it's not going to be a tropical storm, folks. We're going to have to watch this very, very closely. Okay, we've got a picture of it here, and I've got the tropical points and how they should happen and when they should occur up here for you. Right now, of course, it's a low. You can tell when it turns into a tropical storm. Moving on through, I want to see if we can see that very tiny eye. I'm going to take these points off so we can see it a little better. Now, we want to see if we can see a very tiny eye up in this area develop as the National Hurricane Center was talking about just a few moments ago. There it is, looking like it may happen. Very, very tiny. Right there. There it is, right there. A very tiny eye. We had to hunt and peck to find it, but we did. So that's what it's looking like now. Now, I wanted us to see how much rain was in this, how much water. Well, as you can see, here is the gauges right here. The greener it gets, the more water it is, okay, that is containing as of right now. And here I put the forecast points back up again, and you can see the dry air when it starts to get to it way over here. And this is running through, oh, I think probably around the first of the week. Maybe the weekend, it's looking like weekend, first of the week, something like that. In the meantime, it is probably going to grow. And it, yes, probably is going to turn into a tropical storm. I'm not going to make this any longer right now, excuse me, but later this evening, after 5, sometime in early evening hours, I will post another video update on the system. In the meantime, everybody in the islands prepare for rain and some wind and possibly some wind gust, maybe 40, 45 miles per hour. I'm talking gust. Might get to that. I'm not saying it's going to be that, but you will have some wind, but nothing that you cannot handle at this time the way it's looking. And up around the St. John's area, I think you'll get a lot of the rain out of it. Everybody will get some. Over to Puerto Rico, you guys are going to feel the wind and the rain, but nothing like you have been through if nothing changes. Also, up in the Dominican Republic, you guys get some rain, some wind a little bit. The rain will go over to Jamaica and parts of Cuba and then move on up, probably touching some of the Bahama Islands also. So with that all said and done, everybody, I know you guys on the islands are prepared. You should be. If you're not, have your plans ready. If this does change into more than what it's looking like right now, make sure you have your hurricane kits ready. Make sure you just got everything ready, and I know you guys do. And do not worry, I will keep you informed as I see things changing. And remember, this can always change. So, with that all said and done, this is what it's looking like right now. Everybody, everywhere, be safe. Keep your eyes on the skies and your sky conditions and everything around you. And I love all of you. Thank you for everything you do for me. Thank you for the donation tips. Thank you for the likes, the comments. Thank you for just watching. I got the best subs in the whole wide world, and I love you guys. And I want to try to keep you safe. Everybody, you have a good afternoon, and I'll see you back later with the good Lord's will. Thanks for watching.